first, and then I click over here to, oh, this is a boob shot. Don't look at my boobs. Just kidding, I'm just not like trying to make that the thing. And now we should be live. Uh-oh. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Are we live? We're live over there.
Oh,
we're live over here.
We got
okay, but
2.
I want this. Great. Great, great, great. If I leave this up, will we be able to see comments? No, be quiet. Shush. Why is this? Okay, well, this is gonna get muted. Nice. All right. Welcome. Wait,
hello.
I'll sit in the camera. Welcome to Underpaints Club. This is Johnny Walls. She is a girl.
Hello, Johnny the girl, actually. Brilliant branding.
Johnny the girl. As you can tell, I'm much more pale than she is.
I'm coming fresh off a sunburn, so it peeled away and my skin is real tan now.
Fresh baby skin.
It's great.
Let's see. So we don't, I was thinking the other night, like it might be nice if I planned a show and like how to format and outline and some jokes. So I didn't do that this time. That's like for a future thing. So we're just gonna talk and paint and see how we feel. Oh, let me see if I can get this. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna share on Facebook so people know we're streaming.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You can share the live stream, is what I learned. Nope, okay. I'm still learning technology.
Isn't technology amazing?
So good.
We've come so far in such a short amount of time.
Great, okay, here we are. And share. Am I sharing as myself? Usually I can tell. Cool, good, can't tell. Great. Shush! Alright, well I'm gonna assume that this is posting to my own page as well as the...
I should probably share it to mine.
You can share it to yours, yeah, go over your phone.
Well,
we're just waiting for everyone to join us, for all the people, all the joiners to join us. We'll see, and then I can see if I actually shared it or not. I did, yeah, great, good. Did the right thing. No, be quiet. Can you please be quiet? I want to be able to see if there are comments without hearing this noise. Silence didn't work. This is embarrassing. How do you make it be quiet? I want to be able to see if there are comments without hearing this noise. Idiot. Shh. Alright, well, if I just hit the comments, no, that's me Okay, well we're gonna, I don't know. How do I click on it?
I don't know.
Hello, Dalton! Where's the mute button? Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, my manual volume, there we go. Figured it out, cool. Dalton, say hi to us, please.
Dalton's a great name.
It says Dalton is watching with you. Now, I think that's less creepy than it saying Dalton is watching you. But like, I'm not watching, like I am here. So I think somebody definitely like thought that out and was like, how do we make it not sound creepy?
I think it's a really smart way to approach it too, because it's whenever I'm on set or like anything that I've filmed or like been in airs, I always get those texts of like, I saw you on television. It's like
I'm watching you.
I watched you. I'm watching you. It's like, oh, it's always like really nice
right now
to like receive those sorts of texts, like they're like little like, oh, good job, like got to see this is exciting. But then there's always that element of like, oh yeah, that's like a really public thing. Yeah. And I haven't spoken to that person in a few years, but cool.
Hi.
Nice. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. I like hearing those things. So I'm like, oh hey.
Yeah.
Like when people come, I don't know, like I have friends that I haven't really talked to much since high school. They'll come on and say hi now and then. I'm like, hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's that moment too sometimes where I'm like, oh, they remember me. Oh. I wasn't particularly popular in high school, so. I'm trying to open this. Okay, so let me orient you. These are the paints. Great. That's your palette. You can paint whatever you want. That's your board thing.
Ooh.
Your board thing, your canvas board.
My blank, board. My tabula rasa. My blank slate of a canvas.
Blank slate. I'm gonna try painting a tiny one today. I might paint a couple tiny ones. Because I bought these because I was like, these are such a cute size. And then I haven't painted one yet, so today's the day.
Today is the day. Trying new things. It's
All right.
exciting.
So the rules are,
There are no rules.
there are no rules. Love whatever you do, even if it's terrible. Like love whatever you think about it. How am I gonna do this? I did do this before. I remember painting on my lap before. I think I might have to sit like this.
Got it.
Hello, who's out there? Oh, we have 3 people on Twitch. Twitch,
Woo!
say hi to us. Say hi to us. 4 people on Twitch.
Yay!
Say hello. Please say
Hello.
hello. Okay, let's get to painting.
Great.
Oh, we're both drinking coffee. We're drinking butter coffee.
Ooh.
I made Johnny her first butter coffee.
I'm so excited.
I'm drinking butter coffee with ice cubes. Iced butter coffee. Sounds grosser when you say iced butter coffee. Maybe iced butter is delicious.
Iced coffee with a hint of butter.
Just
Jazz it up. Make it sound fancy.
Pro tip, we blended it so it gets foamier. Welcome to the chat room. Hello, Heldine. Oh, VG Bandit is auto. Yeah, okay, so Heldine is auto hosting us.
Cool.
That's not a real human.
Very
talking
cool.
to. I knew that. Yeah, so help yourself, get to it.
Great.
I'm going to be painting with yellow today. I technically have color schemes for each month. So March was green, April's technically yellow. I don't have any yellow underwear yet, so you know, we do our best here.
I think I'm gonna do shades of blue because
Love it.
it's World Autism Awareness Day.
Is it?
It is
I
today.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
Autism Speaks likes to. Their saying is "light it up blue." That's sort of their catchphrase.
Really?
So I think I will light this canvas up blue today.
I love that.
And I might add in pink because I like pink. It's just so happy.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I do a little gold. How will that look with my yellow? I don't know. Let's see. I'm a big fan of this iridescent gold because it's so shiny.
Do you shake paint? I don't.
I didn't shake this paint. I don't know if you're supposed to or not.
Me neither. But I've been telling you, if this canvas does not look like a work of art by Michelangelo, then I'm gonna be extremely disappointed in myself.
we can cry it out.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
This better be the Sistine Chapel when I'm done.
That's this one, right?
Yeah.
My parents were sending me pictures from the Acropolis today.
Oh,
Greece.
nice.
They're like, we're having coffee here, and I'm like, cool, great,
That's great.
good for you. Let's see, what do I want to do? I really do want to paint a circle. I didn't plan this circle out. Okay, maybe I'm gonna try this. Hello, 5 secret people, 4 secret people. Who are you? I'm gonna try a new thing.
Oh,
Let's see if you guys can see what I'm doing.
In case you just joined us, you missed some really great Michelangelo Sistine Chapel jokes, so that is on you.
So speaking of jokes, Johnny, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Well, first of all, let's give our history. No,
Great.
first, let's talk about your underwear. Oh my gosh, why is someone calling me when I'm... Nope, it's just buzzing.
It's just buzzing. They're life's greatest mystery.
Mysterious missed phone call. I bet it's someone being like, hello, please vote for Jimmy Gomez. Got it, heard you loud and clear. There is a vote April 4th, which is 2 days from now if you haven't voted already in Los Angeles. Think about it. Go do some research. Jimmy Gomez is backed by Planned Parenthood and appears to be the leading Democratic person. I've gotten lots of calls from him, although Kenneth Mejia, who is the Green Party person, started sending text messages supporting him too, so I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could always do more research.
I think everybody can always do more research. I think.
When do you stop? When is enough enough?
I don't ever think enough. I am in this place now where I've gotten to, and I've written about it recently, where it's that whole idea of less is more and changing my perspective on that, more is more. Less is not more, less is less. Just sort of just always discovering and learning new things, that to me is the whole reason we're here, I guess, to get real philosophical and about purpose and stuff. But
you can do that. Yeah.
Hence why I'm here.
Yes, so before we talk about our brief history,
Right.
What does it feel like to be in your underwear? How do you feel about being here in your underwear? Like, what was your thought process behind all of this, etc.?
Yeah, there's like two trains of thought for it. In improv, which is a big part of what I do, there's this whole idea of like following the fun in a scene and that's where you get your comedy from. I think like that also directly translates to like following the fear of something. And I saw this and I was like, wow, that's a really cool idea. That's so brave. Like, I had that instant of like, that's also terrifying. And then that immediate sort of like switch on of like, oh, I'm terrified of that. I should probably go do it. Because if I'm terrified with most things that I've had fears about, they're usually that it's false evidence appearing real. Like, that's what fear is.
Yeah.
And it's like
no, right at your growth edge.
Right. And it's like, I should be doing that. I should go do it, and I will probably grow from it and learn from it and feel it'll just like feed me as a person.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And so in this moment, how does it feel to be here in your underwear?
Relaxing.
Yeah?
It's like super freeing.
Good.
It's just like a couple girls hanging out. And
would you tell me though if you felt really uncomfortable? Would you be like, I hate this?
I would be honest. I think that people are not open enough with each other about things.
Totally.
There's like my main thing in college that I studied was communication. And I think like even like the strongest relationships that I have in my life with my friends and my family and whatnot, the strongest ones and the ones that I have like the deepest appreciation for are the ones that are just, you know, incessantly honest. There's like no real like hiding what someone is feeling. There's a respect to it because it's like, yeah, I don't agree with you, but you know, here's why I think this way versus this way. And that honesty, you know, it leaves room for an open dialogue and an open discussion. And I think like that's also why we're here, because I keep going into like our whole life's purpose,
which is fine.
Totally.
Yeah.
But you know, like human beings crave community and connection. Like that's
we do.
No secret. Like that's why people go to a certain school or they play a certain sport or they do a certain art or join some sort of community, right? Because we all want to be around other people.
Yeah,
we're
most people.
Looking for people who are like us. And most people want that. And then the people I think who don't want it just feel like they can't find it. And I feel like they think that they can't find it because there's some sort of cutoff where they're not staying open to that connection or that sort of level of communication.
Yeah.
And because once you cut off that communication, nothing can survive.
Right.
Yeah.
And people do that after certain scars or whatever, if they've gotten rejected in certain instances.
Right.
Or whatever, like that's a thing.
Right.
Or if they start to feel disconnected, it can be a downward spiral.
For sure.
So who are the people in your life that are like the most honest with you? And feel free to give examples if you want, but you don't have to get too specific. Like if you're like, oh, I'm giving away identities, like don't worry about that.
My parents, for sure. They are my biggest supporters, and then also the reason they are my biggest supporters and the reason that I can trust them is because they are honest with me.
Nice.
Which has been, you know, really great, and it's been like that for as long as I can remember. Which has been, you know, really great. Not that relationships haven't changed over the years. Like as I've gotten older, you know, you can talk about things as a 27-year-old with your parents that you didn't even have like the scope of understanding as a 16-year-old.
Totally.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because it's that sort of, when you're young, you don't want to talk to your parents because they're your parents and you're not cool. Right?
They would never understand.
They just won't get it.
They wouldn't get it.
But it's insane now, like 10 years later, looking back and being like,
you know,
my parents have literally been through all of these things before. And like, I mean, in the last year and a half, 2 years or so, my relationship with them, because they're back in the Philadelphia area and I'm out here, just certain challenges I faced and things I was dealing with that I was having a hard time with, you know, I always talked to them about it.
Yeah.
And there were, you know, friends and stuff And like I understand where they're coming from too. That sort of like be careful what you tell your parents because they won't forget, you know, and you want to whatever. But I found the opposite to be true. Like, not that they don't forget, they do.
Yeah.
But they understood where I was coming from and sort of gave me the best advice that they could give. And then whether or not I took the advice or whatever, like there was just this sort of very keen understanding of why I was making the choices I made and their support anyway.
That's great.
This like a, we trust your decision. You
Yeah.
know, this is not what we would do, but we still trust whatever you're doing because you're not us.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's like, even today I called my mom and I was like, yeah, I'm going on this thing and I'm going to be in my underwear. And
You told her?
Gonna paint. Of course I told her. Of course. And she was like, huh. She goes, you should wear something nice. And I was like, well, let me just go a little bit on my lingerie.
Did she mean like...
I don't think so. I think like the whole like underpants concept might have flown over her head at first. You know when you tell somebody something and they miss it at first and then you repeat it and they're like,
is that really what you
oh, yeah. And it's like, no, like
I misheard.
Exactly. But I was like, you know, I just think it's important, Mom. Like, you know, and she's a woman, so of course she understands.
Yeah.
It's you know, we see advertisements every day and sort of the...
Yes. Very, very thin advertisements. I'm going to try to see if we have anyone watching here. Hey, bud. Hey, meower. I don't know how this works. Sorry, we're testing out a new live streaming thing, and I feel like I'm not seeing all the comments. But I don't know. Maybe there just aren't any. Okay. Oh, there's a hot light on me. Okay. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yep. No comments. Guys, talk to us if you feel like it. Otherwise, whatever. We're having our own conversations. That's great. Okay. Well, it sounds like you have a pretty good relationship with your parents.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, not that I didn't have like my times of rebellion or
Sure.
whatever, but even as I did, I mean, there was always this sort of, I don't know, awareness that my parents like were pretty cool and pretty understanding. And they,
siblings?
I do. Yeah, I have a ton of siblings.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm the youngest, so part of that, you know, my parents raised kids before me, so by the time they got to me,
They were
like,
pretty chill.
yeah. And always just super encouraging and which has been super great. And it was just funny because even, you know, with my mom earlier, I was like, you know, I just think it's important to, I was like, there's nothing cooler to me than having like two women with two different body types, like just owning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, you see, and like I have a little sister and, you know, I want her to see that like just who she is and how she is perfectly perfect.
Yes.
You know, like we all are kind of fed this sense of like what perfection is.
Yeah, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like.
Right. But the most perfect thing is like defining that for yourself, really.
Beautifully said.
Oh.
Very beautifully said. And yes, and yeah, and I know for myself personally, like I go through phases of like, no, I'm fine, I love everything about myself, obviously. And I'm just like, but how honest is that? How deep is that?
Right.
And there are always the parts of yourself that you don't like. One thing that I have noticed lately is like, I experience, I want to have this like love for myself in my current form, but be able to hold that alongside, and I think I can, but I notice some pushback from people, like be able to hold that alongside with like, here's how I want to improve myself.
Right.
So it's this like, I'm good as I am, and I know I would feel like even more awesome if I was like very, very strong. Do you know what I mean? Like if if I had more core strength and could do like all sorts of cool pole tricks, like I feel great. Yeah. And it's not like, oh, I want to go to the gym because I hate myself as is. And so it's like, sometimes people are like, no, you're so good looking, you're so skinny, you're so all these things. And you're like, but that's not the point too. Right. Like there's so many, I think, different levels.
Right.
Hello, Thomas. That's Thomas. He was my
Hello.
first boyfriend. He's the nicest.
Hi, Tom.
We're still very good friends. He watched my cat for me a little bit while I was traveling.
Nice.
So He's the best. And now he has kind of a matching cat. Not matching. She's way more friendly. Well, Muse is friendly, but sometimes standoffish.
Right.
Hey! Are you on camera? No, you can't see him. So I think, I don't know, anyway, that's something that I've encountered with people who maybe being threatened by how you want to change, or if you want to change, or I don't know. It's like, can we hold both at the same time? And I feel like yes.
Yeah, it's so I lost a lot of weight within the last couple years.
I did too when I first started dating Tom.
Yeah.
We started working out, and I stopped making cookies twice a week.
Yeah.
And so I lost like 30 pounds.
Yeah,
without
about
trying too hard.
30. Yeah.
And people were like, "Are you okay? What's wrong with you?"
That I got the same reaction.
And I also didn't have a sense that I looked particularly different. I was like, I always looked good. What do you mean?
That's how I felt.
Like
yeah.
I was never like super skinny or muscular. I'm still not now, but like I thought I looked good then. Like I was carrying my, you know. And I literally, when I used to work at a bar, I had a dude walk in, and he's like, "Oh, I knew a girl named Karin in college, but she was like 50 pounds heavier than you." And there was this like horrible moment where we realized that we knew each other.
Yeah.
And it was so awkward. And like at the time, I was extremely awkward. I was like, "It's fine, it's fine." And now I would just would have been like, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just.
I had something similar happen, and I was nannying at the time. This was a couple years ago, or I guess maybe almost 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, it couldn't have been. It was probably a year. Time is like such a relative concept.
It's a weird thing.
It was maybe a year ago, and the people I nannied for, I would take one of their children to karate, and one of the other moms came up to me and was like, "Are you sick?" And I like looked at her, and I was like, "Did I sneeze on you?"
Did you say that?
I did. I was like, "I mean, I have allergies." She's like, "No, I just, like, you're looking like really thin." But this was a woman who, anytime I interacted with her was, "I went to the gym today, I stopped eating sugar," and it was like, and it became very clear to me, like, that was her issue. And it's like, it's a sad thing to me, because
it's hard.
I didn't
yeah.
particularly try anything too crazy. I just made better choices with eating and working out and whatever. But it's like what you were saying, like, I feel better now just because I feel healthier.
Mm-hmm.
But 30 pounds ago, I didn't have like terrible self-image issues.
Right.
I still very much liked who I was as a person.
Yeah.
But it's because I think we live in this world where people are constantly comparing themselves to other people.
Oh yeah, well, especially in Los Angeles.
Especially in LA, and comparing other people to other people. Sometimes you can get caught up in that sort of ego-driven culture.
Yeah.
Whereas when you like look at yourself and you only compare yourself to a previous version of yourself, then that's a lot more of your soul than your ego, because you're just kind of checking in, not with external forces or other people, just with yourself.
Yeah.
So you, like I said, like I would get compliments like, "Wow, you look so great, your shape, blah blah blah," and I'm like, that wasn't what it was about for me. But those are like nice side effects, I guess, to have.
Yeah,
like that sort
cool,
of
thank you.
external validation. But I never thought I was bad before.
Yes.
Yes. Looking back now, I'm like, that's I can see how like maybe some of my choices were unhealthy, but
sure.
I didn't like. It wasn't like and I think that's where some people have that harsh reality where they like lose the weight but they still don't like themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's because you made it all about that
and,
specific number or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I came on this, or I saw this, I was like, I need to go on it.
Tom says she must be from the East Coast. How did he know
I
that?
am from the East
She
Coast.
is from the East Coast. How did you know that? What did she say that tipped you off? Tom's from New Jersey, so
I'm from New Jersey.
maybe it's something.
Oh
you
wait,
said.
do we know each other? I don't think so.
so.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. Now I'm like very curious as to.
How'd you know? What'd she say?
Did I
He
say?
said the way she says yeah.
What a like
say it.
wonder. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny.
That's really funny.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness.
He pays such attention to details.
Because I checked myself for a second. I was like, oh, did I say like, oh, I'm gonna brush my paint off in the water? Because like that's the thing I say.
Yeah.
That's usually the thing that definitely tells people where I'm from.
I would always catch him on Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Mary.
That's so funny.
Or caught. Like the AUGHT.
Oh. Oh, yeah, like I caught the ball.
Caught the ball.
Like
Yeah,
caught.
there's like a little bit, but he doesn't go caught.
Is he from North Jersey?
Caught,
I don't know.
he's from.
Tom, are you from North Jersey?
He's from Cherry Hill.
Oh, get out of town!
Near Cherry Hill.
Where?
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, where are you from? I'm from near Cherry Hill.
I know. I feel like a bad ex-girlfriend. South what? Wait, did I say the wrong thing? Maybe I just made up. But Cherry Hill.
No, I'm from South Jersey too, and that's in South Jersey.
That's in South Jersey.
Yeah.
He said, no, South. Get out of town. And so East Coast.
Medford, get out of here! I'm from Tabernacle. That is right next to Medford. That is the town next to mine. I live a mile from Shawnee High School, which is in Medford.
Oh wow.
How exciting.
Universe things.
That's so
I don't
funny.
know what I'm gonna do with this for now. I'm setting it down.
Look! Okay, I'm so excited. He's so excited.
He said what?
I know.
What?
That's incredible.
That's great.
Small world.
Great. This one's naked already. I had such a hard time peeling that one. This one's already naked. Okay. I think I'm gonna grab a pin because I want to circle on this one. Be right back. Okay, not going very far. What was I gonna ask you about? Talking about ourselves, and we already like ourselves. And it's still a struggle. Like nothing's ever perfect immediately. What was I gonna ask you? Who else is there? Who are the 5 people? He went to Shawnee.
Is he like our age?
He's a little bit older.
A little bit older?
Like 4 or 5 years older.
He might have had my dad as an assistant principal. Because my dad worked at Shawnee High School and then left Shawnee to go be the director of Sequoia High School.
That's crazy.
That's so funny. Because
That's
that
really
tends to happen.
Really?
One of my best friends from college ended up living in her apartment with a guy who had my dad as an assistant principal.
Really?
So it was like we had gone out in Philly one night and we like had some wine and then like we were all hanging out and it was like this sort of like, oh, wait, what's your name? I like totally know your dad. It's like, oh, hey dad. My dad goes everywhere and like knows someone.
Really?
He can't go to the grocery store, he can't go to the mall, he can't like,
That's so
he's
funny.
like,
He's like one of those people.
he's just like one of those people.
Amazing.
My dad is Mr. Walsh. His first name is John. I am his namesake.
That's amazing. I love that they named you after your dad. Also, like, if you're one of the youngest,
The youngest.
you're the youngest. So like, they had enough chances to like name other kids, and they're just like, well, we're out of names now, so you're gonna be named after.
And it's always been like a funny. I think about this a lot in terms of like formation of identity, right? Because
Yeah.
I have to dye my hair brown.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us what you're doing it for, if you were allowed to talk about it, and tell us how you feel about that.
It's I think I'm allowed to talk about it. I think so. It's about like the Northridge earthquake, and I'm just like portraying a woman who is like one of the like influential people who like really took charge and helped other people.
Cool.
And it was great because when I got like the sides for it, you know how it is getting sides, and you know there's like a casting for Camel Toe Girl, and you're like, wow, you couldn't even give this person a name. Like she's literally
They're like,
Camel
no,
Toe Girl.
We'll describe her descriptively.
Right.
Hello, Duchess. Her name's Johnny.
Hey, Johnny
Johnny
the girl. Right.
Johnny the girl. That's my best friend Lauren from back home.
Hey, Lauren. But it was interesting because I got the sides for it, and I was like, wow, like they wrote a character who's a real person,
Yeah.
so that obviously helps.
Right.
But who's like strong and take charge, and like all of the different sides that I got for different scenes were like, oh look, she's here and she's just like a genuine person with like a little bit of sense of humor. Over here she's like someone who takes charge and is strong, and over here it's wonderful. Like this sort of like it was just like a dynamic character.
You're like, oh wow,
and I was
they
like,
wrote a woman with depth.
Right, I was like, whoa, they like took a woman and decided to write her as an actual human being. Like that's so nice. And you know, luckily there are more things like that happening. Which is great. And it was one of those things where I went to audition and it just felt right. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I'd ever had that experience particularly before.
Wonderful.
And this was the one where I was like, yeah, the audition felt really great. Like there was no sort of nerves attached to it.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, like
I could do this.
I can do this.
Keep painting.
Okay.
Keep painting.
I'm a talker.
I know. No, I know. That's the hard part. That's one of the hardest things about this.
You're right. This is
it's really
pretty
hard.
challenging.
You can take breaks. Don't worry. I'm just kind of teasing you.
I'm taking this seriously. This is art, and I'm an artist. And if this doesn't look like the Sistine Chapel, I'm done. Never painting again.
On that note, women with personalities, I was texting a dude today who I met on the internet.
Right.
Who I haven't met in person yet. I don't know if I'm going to. And we were texting, and I was just, making jokes as females sometimes do.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, you're kind of offbeat, aren't you?" And I was like,
hard eye roll.
I was like, well, I just, have a personality.
Right.
And I was just like, what? Like, and I wasn't even saying anything like super crazy. It was just being like slightly, like literally like personality light. Like, and I was just like, God, this is why I don't go on the machine and do the dating apps. Like I usually meet a lot of people wherever I go.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
I have experience with dating apps.
Do you?
Yeah, but I mean, I dated someone I met on an app, who I'd also met in person, so there was sort of like a weird crossover.
You met them first in person?
Yeah, super briefly. And so that was like the draw to it was like, oh, like I met this person outside of that, and like cool, we matched or whatever. But like, oh, I know this or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm done with the apps. Like I there's just a lot of, and I shouldn't let it like be affected by this one specific person I dated, because like one of my best friends married the person she met on an app.
Really?
Right. And I know a couple people who websites.
It is the way now.
Right.
For many.
For a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of success stories.
Yeah.
I think there are way more unsuccess stories that you don't hear about.
Failure stories. We can call them that.
We can call them failures.
Big, huge failure stories.
Big, huge failure stories.
Seth Hancock. Hey, happy birthday, Seth. Mwah! Thank you for loving my personality. Seth is a very talented. That is Seth Hancock. He's a very talented photographer.
Hey, Seth.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I remember, and I have some like horror stories of just even the like
horror. I heard it. Horror.
Horror stories.
Horror.
Just of even like the chatting experience on those.
Really?
Yeah, and just.
May I ask which apps you were on?
Just Tinder.
Okay.
Yeah, and this was a few years ago.
Before Tinder was before there was Bumble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And now there's like Coffee Meets Bagel and like all sorts of like other things, right? But to me, and this isn't a judgment on anyone who uses them.
Yeah.
It's just not my personality type to use it.
Yeah.
But there's something like very superficial about it. Obviously, you're picking based on looks and you're swiping, right?
Yeah.
You're swiping right, you're swiping left.
Which one's which again?
Left is no and right is yes. Swipe right.
Okay.
And there's truth to it, right? Like we're attracted to what we're attracted to.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah. Totally.
But for me, like there's so much more to someone than what they look like. that is a huge apps and stuff, like, and this is from someone who used them.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, no, like there's got to be so much more out there.
Yep.
So, and I think also things find you when you're not looking for them.
Totally.
So, you know, I am a firm believer in that sort of, if you're going out and you're looking for it, like you're gonna find something, but it's not gonna be right. And that was my last, that's the person I dated on that app. Like,
really?
I found something, but it wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine.
So you're in if I'm understanding correctly, you were in like a space of like me do me, you do you.
Yeah. For sure. And I think that that's not a selfish thing. For me, it's like, you know, I think a lot of people they think that way. Like I should, yeah. You know, well, I did for a really long time because of a byproduct of the person I dated. Right. So now I'm trying to get out of that headspace because it was pretty toxic for me as a person.
I can imagine.
But it's interesting because it's that sort of, no, like I need to be the best version of myself. And once I'm the best version of myself, I will attract the best version of someone else.
Yeah.
And that will be amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I had to learn these like super hard lessons, but like all that did was like make me really excited for when like I meet the person who also appreciates someone who works on themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's say shit like, you're kind of offbeat.
Right.
Your personality.
Yeah.
You're not just like a she-bot.
I heard like you read too much. You're weird. There was always this sort of like I wasn't fully able to shine as myself.
Hello, Adam. Adam and Seth. Oh, you're the best. Hey, Randy.
Oh, hi, Randy. I know Randy. Randy's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy.
Great.
It's like a party. Awesome. No, but I just think, and like, listen, I'm grateful for that relationship, and definitely grateful that it's done.
Yeah, for sure.
But I learned so much, and like, I am so happy that person was a part of my life for the period of time that he was.
Yeah.
We went through some stuff together, you know, and that only if you can like view it as like a really good thing and like beneficial to your self-growth, then you can take the lessons that you learned and you can apply them for like the next person that you meet.
Yeah.
You know, and that person was very much like probably my first love, right? Now looking back at it, I realize like that's not what love is supposed to be like. Right. And it's been hard to accept, but now it's like very freeing.
Yeah.
Because now, like, moving forward, the next person that I date or, you know, meet who's going to be a significant person in my life, I'll have this, like, wisdom behind me of, like, what to look for and what not to look for.
Yeah.
You know, and not to ignore things I shouldn't have ignored. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think, like, how exciting it is. It's just, like, remembering, like, work on yourself, be the best version of yourself, and like don't fall back into those old patterns.
Totally.
Because
I'm big on like since I got back from South America, I'm like stay healthy, be a healthier version.
Yeah. And it's like there's no sort of bitterness there anymore. Like I'm super grateful that whole thing happened, start to finish. I learned so much.
What was the time span of it in your
year
life?
and a half.
If you don't mind. Okay.
Yeah. And I want nothing but the best for him. Like, I don't want to be a part of it in any, like, way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But that's not because I want him to fail. I want him to succeed 100%.
Yeah. You're just like...
He just needs to do it on his own.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds incredibly, wildly healthy.
It's, I don't know. That breakup really, I mean... really was probably the best thing that happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just I've gained so much clarity from it and like I just feel so much more at peace.
That sounds like it. Did you have to go through like a long process or were you just like magically, was it like a magic, it kind of feels like it was a magical awakening from this side of the couch. I'm like, oh, she's got it all figured out. How did you figure it out? Because I feel like, you know, I'm a little bit of a mess still from a breakup that I had a year and a half ago.
Right.
And, you know, he's happily moved on, but, and I have no, like, we don't, like, hate each other, but we don't remain in touch.
Right.
His choice, not mine.
No, I mean, it's only been a couple months for me, to be honest. Like,
really?
yeah, but,
You're so together.
I found that having to, you know, I've always sort of believed that life is like a series of high and low tides.
Yeah.
That's always been my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I have an ocean wave tattoo on my ankle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wait, speaking of your ankle, we didn't show you off your whole outfit yet.
My boots.
Got some boots hanging on here. There's a delay, so we
That's
won't
cool.
see them on the screen for a
We'll
second.
see them in like 2 seconds.
Speaking of the screen, Adam says, Karin, you should paint me. Well, Adam, get over here and I will paint you. I will probably want to get body paints before we do that because acrylics are itchy.
To wash off?
They just peel right off. I painted myself the other night,
Oh.
but they
They're
come
itchy.
off easy enough, but they're itchy, and if I painted a significant amount of you, I think it stops your skin from breathing. So it's
Oh.
probably not particularly healthy.
Yeah.
Like I just painted people's names on my body and then like scratched it off later.
Yeah.
Seth says, when are you gonna have a man? Okay, let's talk about dudes for a second. I have invited men on this channel. I think they're too scared. People are everyone's invited. I have specifically reached out to 3 different people now, and they've all been busy. And I've been like, when are you free? And they're like, oh, I don't know yet. So men are allowed. Men are encouraged. Everyone is welcome. Just saying. Maybe you can be the first. whoever wants to join can join. I've just been pretty much just reaching out, like anyone who's like, I'm interested. I've been like, when? And like you just told me on Thursday or Friday.
I was like, hey, I wanna do that.
And I was like, cool, when?
I was like, I mean, as soon as possible.
Yeah. It is that easy when, you know, when people line up.
Yeah.
What do I want? What paintbrush do I want? So it's only been a couple months. That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're in a great place.
I
mean,
am.
That's wonderful. And like booking stuff. So so this is a feature film that you're shooting, or is it?
I think, yeah, it's like a low budget feature.
Great. That's amazing.
I'm
Wait,
very excited.
it's an earthquake?
Mm-hmm.
When do you start shooting it?
This week, but I don't film till Tuesday.
Is the person doing it named Mark?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's one of my best friends! Mark Romano. Like, he was the person who was here filming me when I shaved my head.
No.
Like, yes.
What?
Oh my god, this is so
Wait, the world is so small.
The world is so
can't
small.
deal
I was
with
like, wait a
this.
second, earthquake? But, like, it's like reenactment stuff. And
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my god.
I'm Buffy.
This is amazing. I'm gonna call him.
Oh my god, that's
He's probably
incredible.
like going crazy doing pre-production stuff, but let's see. I'm gonna tell him because he knows. Oh gosh, this is too funny. Keep painting, keep painting.
Oh, okay.
I'm the paint master, but it's supposed to sound like taskmaster. This is so crazy.
That's amazing.
That's so funny.
What is that pink?
Oh, there's I know. Just keep digging. It's right here.
Aha. Light portrait pink.
I think we're gonna have to leave him a voicemail. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. The world is so small.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's too great. Yay, Seth's gonna come paint with me soon.
Perfect. It's a lot of fun.
Yay!
You have to do it in your underwear, Seth, so just so you know.
We're gonna leave Mark a voicemail. Mr. Romano, I am here. I'm actually live streaming right now for Underpaints Club, and my guest is a lovely young woman named Johnny, and I just realized, we just discovered on camera that she's going to be in Quake Heroes.
Yeah,
Heroes, right? Yeah. And so,
That's amazing.
so I'm calling you, I'm sure you're like very busy with pre-production stuff, but our heads just exploded, so this is wonderful. Let me know if you need to borrow my camera. And I will talk to you soon. Bye. That's so fun. That's amazing.
I love it.
Hey, universe, you're pretty cool.
Am I my dad? I feel like I'm.
Am I my dad? I mean, you are named.
That's true.
Johnny. Like, does he spell it with one N? Well, how come they picked one N for your name?
Yeah, he's just John.
He's John. No, I know, but oh, I guess that only has one N.
Yeah, and then I'm Rosemary Johnny. My mom is Rosemary.
Oh.
My dad is John. I'm
Are
Rosemary.
the rest of your siblings very jealous that you got like their names, the favorite names? Like, I'd be jealous. Maybe, I don't know.
But it was funny because when it came time to pick my name, my mom, grandmother, and great grandmother are all Rosemary. My dad, my pop-up, and my great granddad were all John.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some on your easel.
Really?
Sorry
That's
about
fine.
that.
It has a lot on it already.
I
think easels are supposed to have that. I'm not
probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it came time to when I was born, I guess they were like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, she's got the most beautiful. I had like red copper top hair. They're like, oh, she's the most beautiful hair. What's her name? And my mom was like, oh, it's Rosemary Johnny. She's like, oh, hello, Rosemary. And my dad was very much like, oh, but we're calling her Johnny. She's like, Rosemary Johnny. It was like she couldn't like just say Johnny.
That's so funny.
So funny.
But we're calling her Johnny. I
Right.
love it. So you've been Johnny your whole life.
I have, yes.
Lovely. Was it awkward in elementary school?
You know, I loved having my name.
Really?
I did. There's like, you get all of the jokes.
I was so shy about my name. Everyone mispronounced it, and I was so shy. So, what were the jokes that they said to you?
Well, there were all sorts of nicknames, but the nicknames were like terribly unoriginal. It was always like, oh, like Johnny Tremaine, Johnny Appleseed, Johnny Bravo, and it's like you guys didn't even come up with your own names. You just like totally bit style off of like cartoons and war novel heroes.
You're like,
So it gave me this, like, from a very young age, this sort of like try to impress me, like try to tell me something I haven't already heard.
Right.
Which like it gives you sort of like a little chip on your shoulder.
Totally.
Which is being from like outside Philadelphia. I feel like a lot of people have that anyway. But it definitely it was fun, and then also there was sort of it made me very comfortable in my own skin from a young age.
That's great.
I think because I had to deal with so many people being like, what, did your parents want a boy? And like that comment for some reason has not died. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Or do your parents have a boy? Or
yeah,
like they already got a bunch of kids, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how come none of your brothers got the name Johnny? Like,
my one brother's middle name is John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The funny thing though is like I remember I've had like every small part-time job imaginable besides maybe like construction.
Yeah.
And when I was in high school, I spent my summers. One of the many jobs I had was like working at a grocery store.
Yeah.
And I remember one like old man, and I was like, it was just like the tipping point. It was already late at night, and the old man was like, "Oh, Johnny, like, what kind of name is that? Did your parents want a boy?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Did your parents want a boy?" And he like immediately looked down at the ground, like embarrassed that he'd said anything to me about it. And I was like, I probably could have played it cool, but I had just like had it at that point.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious too, because he's probably like, "Oh, girl, she's not gonna say anything."
Right.
Blah 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 blah.
And to which is an interesting response is like, my parents raised me to always say something back. So.
Oh! Look who it is. Uh-oh. No, I missed it. Dang it. Ah! How do I miss this phone call?
Wait, Seth made a really funny joke.
I know, he said he has a I just read that. Seth says he has a great matching bra and underwear. Seth, I can't wait to see you in your matching bra and underwear, like, immediately.
Me too, Seth. I can't wait.
I super duper can't wait. Oh, got sent straight to voicemail. I bet he's leaving me a voicemail.
When that happens, I usually leave a voicemail that says, "Tag, you're it," and then I hang up.
I'm gonna do that again. I want to go straight to voicemail. I don't want to listen to it.
Oh, what color should I use next?
Whatever you feel inspired by. Tag, you're it.
It's the best.
I love it.
Use the gold you're using.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I haven't even used it yet, but it's my favorite. My absolute favorite.
Yeah.
I love shiny things. That's.
But
Did your parents want a boy?
Right, and it was
Shame
just sort of,
those old men.
It was like I, for better or for worse, have gotten myself into trouble sometimes.
Really?
I strive to be polite. You know, everybody's dealing with their own battles, and
Totally.
life is tough.
Totally.
But like I'm the type of person where like I can only be pushed so far.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, you've backed me into a corner, and
But
now
I think
I'm gonna
that's
fight.
okay. Like,
Oh, I 100% do. Right.
Like, you don't need to take shit from anyone.
No, I'm on board. I'm
Yeah.
like fully there now.
Good.
But it was like, it's interesting. If I ever have children,
Yeah.
right? I used to like want boys,
Yeah.
and I still do. But but now,
When you say boys plural, like, how many kids are you thinking here?
all right, well, my perspective on children has changed drastically.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's why I'm like,
Pin
if
in
I
that, pin
even-
in that, pin in
even
that.
if I do that,
Okay, next.
um,
I do want to come back to that. But
I don't have like a set number in mind
Okay.
or anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even have like maybe have one. Like
yeah.
it's-
No, I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you.
It changes constantly.
And it just depends. I don't know where I'm gonna be. I don't
Depends
know
on
what's
the
gonna happen.
day.
Depends. Yeah, it just depends on where my life goes.
Right. That being said, I think children are incredible.
Me too.
And I nannied my first couple years out here, and it was like so rewarding.
Yeah. I love little kids.
And those children are fantastic.
Oh, good.
And their parents are fantastic.
That's great.
Um,
Randy's saying stuff. Randy says you've inspired him. Now he's going to spend the rest of the night editing his script in his underwear. Yes!
That's
Do
usually
it.
what
That's
I
the best
do.
way to do things. Yeah. Also, he hopes to see some happy little trees in the painting. Oh, he's making a Bob Ross reference.
That's amazing.
I think.
Yeah.
Fun. Thank you, Randy. Thank you for tuning in.
Incredible.
That's amazing.
But it's funny because I used to have this perspective, like, you know, I'm super close with my brother, and I've always had a lot of guy friends.
Yeah.
And, I guess I've lucked out. Like, my guy friends have always been very supportive. Like, I've
Totally.
never sort of felt different or outside of them
Yeah.
strictly because I'm a
You're-
woman.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
I've, unfortunately, more recently, and I think this was it doesn't matter. It's done.
Okay.
But I used to like, and because I was so like had guy friends, and I always like wanted boys, like that was my thing.
Yeah.
And I just like very recently, not very recently, but like I like want daughters, like more. I mean, if I
You'll take whatever you'll get, but like,
right, yeah, and like I mean,
would you ever want to be able to pick if you knew you could pick a gender? Would you do that on purpose? I don't know what my answer is. Just thinking of questions. On the
I
spot.
think no.
Yeah.
I don't think, because I don't think that one has value over the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that, even with feminism and modern feminism, an issue I struggle with it is that like a lot of it becomes very like anti-man, which I think is equally as unhealthy as the opposite side being anti-woman.
Yes.
So the focus should be equality. So I
Yes.
think that
and come togetheriness.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
hooray, you made a movie with an all-female cast and crew, but I want to make one that's 50-50 so that we can
Right.
hire each other the fuck back and forth.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, or at least like some dudes and mostly ladies. Like
Right.
I want to have an integration. I want them to see us being kick-ass.
it goes back to that whole concept of communication.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you only cast one type of person in a production in the whole scheme of things, then you're neglecting
Yep.
the other piece of the puzzle.
It's not equal representation. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're subtracting something, but by subtracting you're not solving an equation.
Yeah.
You have to add to it to
Yeah.
ultimately get like the bigger sum of things, right?
Yeah.
To use a math metaphor, which is not usually what I do. No, but it's and it's gotten to the point where like I used to just, and I think part of that was like recognizing that like, you know, sort of that acknowledgement of males having a little bit more privilege, or more privilege in general than women.
Yeah.
And like realizing like, oh, if I had sons, they would have
this
it easier, right?
Yeah.
But not very recently. I don't know why I keep saying very recently, but
everything feels immediate.
What
is time? Time's a construct.
You know, the world is going through changes right now, and it's really beautiful. And people get caught up in the idea of like, well, you know, there's too much anger and there's too much violence, and part of me agrees.
Yeah.
But you can't affect change without some sort of breaking apart.
Yeah, there's gotta be
Right. You think about, like Randy said something about trees. Like you think about a seed, right? And you plant seeds and they grow. But those seeds, like they have to break apart. Like they have to get sunlight and they have to get water and they have to get nourishment. But they also have to like battle to survive.
Yeah.
And it's this sort of like, yeah, like I get it. And the funny thing is like, what people don't realize is like everybody like thinks the other side is wrong.
Yeah.
So like that's the problem of, and even in like America, the problem that we have is like a two-party system, because everybody tries to define things in the binary,
and it tries to get oversimplified, and it's like, well,
and then it just becomes like people don't win because it becomes this one thing versus this other thing.
Right, which is not ever really what it's about anyway.
Right.
And then there are people that get to use that to their advantage to make their own gains in the meantime.
Right. But it's like, yeah, I've written about it a lot recently, where it's like...
Oh, what is the name of your blog? We haven't said that out loud.
Oh, it's just johnnythegirl.com. Everything
That's easy
is
to remember, guys.
cross-branded.
Johnny the Girl, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, I just think that it's important that people realize that the only way to do anything or accomplish anything is to have an open dialogue about it.
Yeah.
Right? And that sometimes gets put on the back burner because two parties come, together, and there are some things they agree on and some things they disagree on.
Yeah.
But with a two-party system, usually what you have is nobody wins because this thing is running in direct opposition to this thing.
Yep.
And it might not, the person who's running might not want to represent that, but they can't also represent the other thing that the other person's representing.
Yep.
Which makes sense because it's a competition, right?
Right. It becomes non-nuanced.
Right.
Basically.
But it I don't know. I have so many thoughts on it. And it's sometimes hard to keep track of it. But my whole point is before I really just wanted to, if I thought about having children, I want to have boys. Now that has changed, where I would like to have both, I think. Because I think that if I were to have kids, I would just want them to both be raised equally.
Yeah.
And children are the future. I mean,
they are.
So teaching them about respect, I think, is the most important thing. You don't have to love everyone. You don't have to get along with everyone. That's not how the world realistically works. Nobody likes all the same things, but that's what makes it great, because we're all individuals.
Yeah.
And everybody, being individual, brings something unique to the table. It's where it gets lost, is that people don't respect other people's views.
Yeah.
And people have views for a reason, and they have different life experiences that have led them to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we're actually, we all have differences, but there are sort of these greater themes to life that people fail to recognize.
Yeah.
And the way you get people on board is to be more open and more communicative and have this sort of open discussion of things. And I think people, again, should just be more open and honest, because that's how problems get solved. That's how great ideas are born.
Totally.
Dropping that.
Drop the mug.
I actually dropped it.
Drop the paintbrush. That's fine. You can drop stuff here. We're all about.
Pick it back up.
Yeah. I think those are tons of good points. I know my own personal views on kids have shifted a lot. I don't know if it's shifted a lot. I went through this whole thing where I was like, I must have kids, and I was like, I guess I don't have to have kids, and now I'm just like, what will be will be. I can't really plan it out ahead of time. I just effed up this line. No, my yellow circles were so perfect you can't really see them. I just made my line crooked.
She did it. It looks beautiful. It's perfect.
I don't like a crooked line. Wait, there's such a delay that I can't even tell you. I can't even tell what's happening. Guys, we have 10 viewers. That's
Woo.
great. Hello, friends. Who are you? Tell us about yourselves, please. We're just talking about, you know, how to save the world.
Yeah.
How to change the world, how to affect people, how to get everyone on board. And then I cried because I messed up the edge of this yellow circle that I've been painting really carefully. And you know, you and I were also talking earlier about the importance of affecting exactly what we can affect, you know.
Right.
Which is not to say like don't have higher aspirations, but it's every little bit counts, I think.
Yeah.
That's how I'm setting it. That's what I think.
I think as long as you...
I'm killing myself with this edge. I don't know what to do about it. I feel like I messed up the whole thing. It was so perfect. And
It's beautiful.
Right, yes, it's perfect the way it is. Okay. New tactic. So most of the time I'm like, cool, whatever. And then sometimes, this is what happens when you get attached to an idea. Non-attachment is key.
Yeah.
You get attached to an idea, and then you F it up, and then you hate yourself for it. Adam says, it's Seth's birthday. I should paint happy birthday. Oh, I'll do that. I'll definitely paint happy birthday on my arm. Well, I'll paint it here. Because it'll be easier to read. I should probably like.
Are you doing it backwards?
No. Happy.
No, I mean like you're doing it on yourself backwards so that it... No, maybe not.
I'm doing it in the camera.
Yeah, you're going right to left.
Well,
which is right, which is what people can see. But I'm impressed.
Does
is
it
what
look
I'm
right
saying.
to you?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ha! Ha! I'm not writing happy birthday. I'm just writing ha. Just kidding. I feel like I want you to do the rest of it. I can't really see what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using sponge color. Don't get any weird ideas, creepos. This is normal. We're just wishing Seth a happy birthday.
Is it this orange?
Yeah. Seth is thumbs upping us. Do what we can. We do what we can. Ooh, I'm looking at your painting. Reminds me of like glorious, beautiful like angel wings or something.
Ooh.
I don't know. On screen, when I look it on screen.
Birthday?
Birthday. And we'll do a little Seth on my boobs. It's so cold.
I've never felt like more of an artist than right now.
Then right now, this is our big artistic moment. Mark Romano says, "Got your message. Say hi to Johnny for me." Johnny.
Hi,
Mark. Amazing. I love small world things like that. Like
Me too.
that just makes me so excited and happy. And those are the moments when I'm like, yes, together we can accomplish anything. Like, I don't know, it feels very like community strong. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
oh, there's hope for the world when we. Fun fact about Mark Romano and Quake Heroes. Shortly after he told me all of these terrifying facts about what can happen to you if you're not properly prepared for an earthquake, I for whatever reason I didn't buy supplies for like 3 or 4 months. He was like, make sure you have a bunch of gallons. It's fine. It's all beautiful. Make sure you have a bunch of gallons of water, like all it. And I had like one little thing of supplies, but he's like canned food, flashlights, batteries, like all the things. And I didn't stock up for whatever reason. I was like, I need to go to Costco, and I just like didn't make it a priority. So I started having these terrifying earthquake nightmares, like to the point where I would like wake up in the middle of the night and be like, was there an earthquake? And I still have them. Like a few weeks ago, I had a dream that there was a big earthquake, but I was outside and a giant pillar fell and like smashed a woman's head open. Like it was the goriest dream that I'd ever had. So I have Mark Romano to thank for that.
Thanks, Mark.
And it's, you know, he's been prepping for this project for forever. That's so exciting that
That is so exciting.
that you're part of it.
I love that it's. I love
that.
Small.
I love
do.
that.
I love it.
I love it
I'm
so much.
overjoyed.
Yeah, it's so good. Thank you. So happy birthday, Seth.
That's my artwork. That's what I brought to the table today.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, here's a question. Wait, Johnny, I want to talk more about the improv that you do.
Sure.
Tell us about it.
So I do a lot of musical improv.
Yeah.
Which means that I have a team that I perform with. We're called Garage Band. It's myself.
I've heard of that before I met you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's myself and like 7 of the most beautifully talented people I've ever met.
When are you performing next?
We have a couple shows we're in the process of booking once we figure out the dates.
You're gonna tell me and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I feel so grateful to be on this team.
Yeah?
Like, it's a whole group of people that I look at them at practice and like, I'm blown away by their talent and just sort of being so near it and being around these like beautifully gifted people is just like so fulfilling that
I feel like musical improv must be so hard. Like how do you even learn that? It's just a feeling you must have, right? Like
I mean, I think you're drawn to it if you're, you know what I mean? Like
I walk around making up songs, but like the idea
you
of
should
doing
try it. No,
like right
you know
now?
what? That's
throwing
how
down right now.
that's how I felt.
Really?
I felt sort of that like anxiety at first of like, what if I go to class and I sing and like I'm not very good, right?
Or like what if you just make up shitty lyrics or it's boring or like I make up fake lyrics to songs I know all the time. And I'm pretty good at rhyming on the fly.
Do it. Just try it. Because here's the thing. If you don't like it, right?
You don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it anymore.
So full of logic.
Yeah. But the nice thing, especially about improv, is you can do something and it can be total poop.
Yeah.
But you're making it up on the go and you're never gonna do it again.
That's true.
It's like
That's true.
It's this really nice thing where like it's really rewarding. Musical improv especially is incredibly rewarding because even if you don't feel like the show you had was that great or your song wasn't that great, you still made up a song on the fly about this scene you just had.
That's
and
so
like
cool. So it's
even,
about the scenes?
yeah, so you do your comedic scenes and then during your scene you have an accompanist and they kind of cue you in and then you break into song about your scene.
Also, wait, is the accompanist also improvising?
Yeah, he's making it up. We usually have Sam Janitis improvise for us and he is fantastic. He's our accompanist.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's been,
oh my gosh.
I had a friend recently ask me like what was the last new thing I tried that's been like the most rewarding.
Yeah.
For sure, without a doubt, musical improv.
So you did all the UCB levels and then that's like another class, right?
Yeah, so I went through 101 through 401 in basically the span of a year.
Okay.
Because I was like, I need to do this. It's like
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to,
compelling.
yeah. And then I guess graduated or whatever. I passed to go on to advanced study.
Yeah.
So I've taken a few advanced study classes. I worked at UCB Theater on Saturday nights for like a 9-month stretch.
Oh wow.
Which
I
was,
bet you met a lot of cool people.
I did. I got to see a lot of really talented people perform. I got to work with a bunch of great
letting
people.
people in the door? Like what did you have to do? Like running
Yeah,
the lights? Or?
that was part of it. And not the running of the lights. I didn't do the tech stuff.
Okay.
I did like concessions, letting people in, getting people seated, scanning the tickets, selling tickets.
Did you have to like yell at people like you're not allowed in? You don't have a
Sometimes.
ticket, really?
Yeah. There was one incident specifically where there was a patron who was inebriated, probably had a little too much to drink, and this patron decided they were going to kind of get uppity and like speak to one of my co-interns with like very disrespectfully, and there were like curse words thrown around or whatever.
That's rude.
And I like can't stand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had
Yeah, clearly it makes your blood boil.
Yeah, and so I had the most seniority at the moment, and I went and basically opened the door, and this person was like, who are you? I don't give an F, like, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, I have the most seniority here, and I've been working the longest, so you will be speaking to me. And if you continue to speak to my coworker with that much disrespect, you will not be allowed in the theater.
Good.
And
Good for you.
The person didn't end up coming anyway.
Yeah, because they were drunk as a skunk.
They were also in the wrong. They'd showed up late, and you know what I mean? It just worked out how it should have worked out. But it was like, that was definitely one of those experiences.
People, get it together.
I know. But no, it was great. So I worked there, and like that was really nice because I earned like free classes while I was working.
Oh, cool.
So while I was doing that, before I even took any advanced study classes, they offered musical improv as an elective.
So cool.
So I took 101 and 201 of musical improv, which is all they offer.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll expand.
Okay.
Because there are so many talented people in the community doing musical improv, and I think everybody should at least try it once because it's so...
I feel like the gauntlet is being thrown down.
But you also, like, if you go to the first class is set up very well. Like, the first half an hour to 45 minutes is just spent sitting in a circle, getting to know each other to, like, build trust. Because you have to sing in front of these people. Improv, in and of itself, is semi-terrifying because you're entering a chaotic world where you're making it all up. But I think that's also why I'm attracted to it, because it's like, you're making it up as you go.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how life is.
Super duper.
People try to think that life is not that way, but it is.
It is. Every little bit is. Even if
Yeah.
they're pretending like it's not, it is. We know. We're on to you. Say whatever you want.
We're all there. But with musical improv, it's like improv just at another level, because you have to enter each scene with like a strong emotional view.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna sing about it, and if you don't have any sort of strong viewpoint,
You can't make a song.
you're not gonna have the best song you could possibly have if you had sort of committed even harder to it.
Yeah.
But it's been incredible. So I perform with GarageBand, and I am surrounded by talent, and just so grateful to be a part of it. And the people that I get to play with, it just like always feels like a privilege.
Yeah.
You know?
Ugh.
And it's been incredibly rewarding, and I'm just like I just feel like this abundance of gratitude to be on that team.
I can literally feel it radiating through her. I'm like, woo.
It's been like this life-changing experience.
Okay, you told me. Okay, but now I'm gonna have to like either go back through all the levels or like do some mad sweet talking because it's been so long since I've been there. It probably wouldn't hurt for me to do it.
Also, the teacher who teaches it, I'll get you her info. She runs a boot camp at the clubhouse. So the clubhouse is like an indie improv theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they have shows all the time and jams, and I know that she offers...
I might be less intimidated by that too.
Yeah.
Like something about just the name UCB now, I'm just like... Even though everyone there has been nice to me, like I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah. But she offers like a really great, external outside of UCB class that she teaches, and she teaches the same stuff,
I love.
Yeah.
Okay. Because did I tell you? I told you. I think my dream of like doing a one-woman show where I'm singing all the Phantom of the not all of them, but like curating a shortened version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in my future.
You should do it.
I want to do it. I want to take regular voice lessons too. I mean, there's so many things I want to do, but those are like pretty much at the top of my list.
And it's so nice because we live in such a beautiful city where all of those things are just
possible
around you everywhere.
Yeah.
People are offering voice lessons and acting classes all the time, and it's like so amazing.
For like affordable relatively affordable prices, because we're all just like scrambly artists.
It's just incredible to get to live here and experience that.
I think I'm done with my paintings. I'm gonna get a balloon, but like take your time. I'm gonna get a balloon and smush it into my palette. Oh no, wait, maybe I'll do a flat piece of paper. Where did I put my canvas? This is one of my favorite things to do. Moment, okay. That's empty. I need some more canvas paper. It's weird to see the delay of myself walking in the background. It's just so weird. Alright, this is the beautiful painting that I made the other day. Where am I gonna put this? I feel like I want to sneeze. Alright. I love it. I love just painting stuff. It feels so good. Okay, so I'm doing my smoosh, which is my new favorite thing to do. Just love the way it comes. Uh-oh, we smooshed over the edge here. Let's see. I'm saving the other half. I'm saving the other half if you want to smoosh your palette afterwards. Love smooshes. Alright, let's see how this comes out. Very directly splotchy. I think I'm going to do one more smoosh of it. Let's see. The gold looks fun. Get some layers, make it nuanced. Let's see, can I do a twist? I don't know what this is going to do. It looks very similar.
I like it.
I like it too. I love the way the texture comes up. Okay,
Yeah.
Are you ready to smoosh yours? Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Wait, no,
Okay, not yet.
not yet. Almost though.
I'm gonna set this here. I'm gonna go rinse off my palette before it dries crusty. As it does that sometimes.
Guys, I'm basically Pablo Picasso meets Salvador Dali meets Michelangelo.
Oh my god, Salvador Dali is one of my favorites.
I just need to draw some clocks.
Yes,
and then we'll be
some
good.
working clocks with like extreme precision. Oh, I love it. Christian Bud says paintings are looking great.
Oh,
Must be your
see,
friend.
Bud. I love you. I miss you. Move to Los Angeles. He's deciding whether or not he should move to Los Angeles.
Do it!
Which
Los
he
Angeles
should.
versus where else? Like, what are you choosing between?
Nothing, because he should just come to Los Angeles.
Just do it. Much better looking pics. So, I don't get it.
I don't either. It's okay.
This is me dancing with my little paintings. Yeah, I made some mini ones. I like my circles. I think I'm gonna keep working on this one. It kind of looks like weird ketchup and mustard honeycomb.
I like it.
We'll give it a close up here. Let's see. There's such a delay, and I have the like real-time screen covered up, so I can't tell what's happening. Are you there yet? Nope. There it goes.
Amazing.
Oh, delays are wonderful.
That's so good.
Are you ready to smoosh?
Yeah, I think so. All
You
right.
can do it however you want. And I'm not too worried about my smoosh getting over smooshed or whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just squish it on there. So while we're smooshing, just a quick recap. I don't actually know what I'm recapping. I'm not going to recap our conversations. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about improv. We talked about modern ideas of feminism. We talked about vaguely about our desires for our children of the future.
If we have them.
If we have them. Yeah.
Or potentially
Who knows?
maybe children.
Maybe our maybe children. That's so cool looking. Let's hold this up together.
Look at that.
Ta-da!
Beautiful.
So again, for those of you watching, this is Johnny Walsh. She is
Hello.
all over the internet. If you search Johnny the Girl, she's at
Ice
Johnny the Girl.
everywhere.
Johnny the Girl. Johnny the Girl's everywhere. I am Karin Lee. My online universal branding is Karin Ventures, like
Ooh,
adventures, but
I
with a
love
Karin.
it.
Yeah. Or you can find me anywhere at Underpaintsclub. And I'm going to be streaming more, maybe more frequently. Eventually I'll get to regular. In the meantime, we're just figuring it out, not worrying too hard about it because we're not here to stress.
If you're interested at all, you should do it. Because
Yeah.
look at the beautiful art you can create.
And it's just fun. It's just fun.
And it's been super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
And here's the thing, like if tomorrow you look at it and you're like, I want to paint over this, you can. They're acrylics. You just
we are literally
add
making
onto it.
everything up as we go in
Yeah.
life. So.
which is like a beautifully freeing way to be living.
Yeah.
So if you want to be on the show, just fill out the little form on underpaints.club, or message me on Instagram or Facebook or
LinkedIn?
Twitch, or yeah, or the website. Just let me know. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you'll be back someday.
I would love to.
In your cowboy boots, and we'll figure out a format, or if we have, maybe after I take my first class, or maybe just not even, maybe just like randomly, not today, next time, if you come back, I would improv sing with you. I don't have any formal training, but I would totally do it.
Take a class, and I will come back, and we will just make up songs. I'll come back. Y'all come back now, you hear? I'll come back, and we'll just freestyle. I've been freestyle rapping a lot.
Really?
Lately. Yeah, so I'm excited.
Do you post those?
Occasionally.
At Johnny the Girl.
Occasionally, I will post them.
If you follow at Johnny the Girl, you may occasionally be privy to some freestyle rap. Yeah. And Christian says,
Picasso, much better looking than Picasso. Oh, autocorrect win of the day. I love you, C-Bud. Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to sign off. We're going to take some pictures, and thank you truly for everyone tuning in. It is lovely. And remember to honor your ideas that seem crazy, sound crazy to other people, but feel special to you. And with that, we bid you farewell. Except now I have to get awkwardly close to the computer to stop streaming, so this is my favorite part.